In 1970, Houston found itself at a crossroads, grappling with the complex and contentious issue of school integration. This moment was not merely about policy changes. It was about the lives of our children, our families, and our community's future. The struggle for integration in Houston reflected a larger battle against the deeply ingrained systems of oppression that have sought to divide and diminish us. For generations, the promise of education has been tainted by segregation, a system designed to keep Black and brown children in underfunded schools, deprived of resources and opportunities. In the face of this injustice, the push for integration became a beacon of hope, a chance to create equitable learning environments where our children could thrive alongside their peers. Yet, the journey toward integration was fraught with challenges and resistance. A testament to the lengths to which some would go to preserve the status quo, the integration efforts in Houston were met with fierce opposition. Many white parents and community members resisted the idea of sharing schools with Black and brown children, revealing the pervasive fear and hatred that lingered beneath the surface of so-called progress. It was a painful reminder that, despite the legal victories of the civil rights movement, the hearts and minds of many remained unchanged. The struggle was not just against outdated laws, it was a battle against deep-seated racism and prejudice that had been woven into the fabric of society. As we reflect on this time, we must acknowledge the bravery of those who fought for integration. Parents, students, and activists stood firm, demanding that their children be granted the same opportunities afforded to others. Their courage in the face of hostility is a testament to our collective strength. They understood that education is a fundamental right, not a privilege reserved for a select few. Their fight was not only for their own children, but for the future of all Black and brown children in Houston and beyond. However, the journey toward integration was not smooth. It brought about a host of challenges, including busing and community unrest. Families were torn apart, neighbors turned against each other, and our children faced hostility in spaces that were supposed to nurture them. These experiences left scars that would take years to heal. Yet, in the midst of adversity, the resilience of our community shone through. We learned to lean on one another, to support our children, and to push for change, even when the path ahead seemed uncertain. The lessons of Houston's school integration efforts resonate deeply today. They remind us that the fight for equality is ongoing. While we have made strides in many areas, we cannot ignore the persistent inequalities that still plague our education system. Many of our schools continue to be underfunded, and our children still face discrimination. The legacy of segregation lingers, manifesting in various forms, from economic disparities to biased disciplinary actions. As we move forward, we must remain vigilant and united. The fight for equitable education is not just about policy. It is about our children's futures. It is about ensuring that every child, regardless of their background, has access to quality education, resources, and opportunities. We owe it to the generations before us, who fought tirelessly for the rights we hold today, to continue that fight with the same fervor and commitment. Unity is our strength. We must come together as a community, support our local schools, and engage in the political processes that affect our children's education. It is essential that we hold our leaders accountable and advocate for policies that prioritize equity and inclusion. We need to uplift the voices of parents, educators, and students, ensuring that their needs and experiences shape the educational landscape. In this critical moment, let us remember the courage of those who came before us and the sacrifices made for our children's rights. Let us honor their legacy by committing to the ongoing struggle for justice and equality in education. Together, we can create a future where every child in Houston and across this nation can learn and grow in an environment that values their potential and recognizes their worth. The fight continues, and it is up to us to carry the torch forward for ourselves and for generations yet to come.
Miss Cooper, we feel like this is our school. We bought and paid for it. We just asked you, will you enter these kids that were zoned out?
I can't do this. You see, the Houston Independent School District is under federal court order.
When it is convenient to them, when it is a question of jobs, then we're brown. But now that they can use us, that they can mix the blacks and the Chicanos, and the gringo can stay up there in his own school and not have to look at us, now they do it.
I think it's just the parents that are uptight about it. I mean, I'm not uptight. I mean, I don't really care.
Dr. Martin Luther King said that we shall all come together someday, and this has become that day.
So far, school integration here in Houston, as defined by the federal court, is being accomplished. But there are many angry, frustrated, and confused parents here today. They want to know, once and for all, from Washington, what exactly is meant by school integration. They'd like to hear it from the U.S. Supreme Court, but if they do not, they will be looking directly at the White House for some answers. Don Farmer, ABC News in Houston.
DNA.
Miss Bishop, this is your first year here, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about going to this school as opposed to the school you went to last year?
Well, last year it's just that we had all our classes together, and I'm leaving in a month, and I like it here. I think it's a pretty nice school.
What are your thoughts about going to school with about half and half white and black students?
I don't care. I mean, you know, the same people. People are people. I don't care, really. But
well, you know, the reason I ask, a lot of the parents are making a great to-do about all this, but the young people don't seem to be quite as uptight about it. Thank you. Let me talk to you for a second. This is your first year here also, right?
yes, sir.
What do you think about changing schools and going here?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's just that we got to go, you know, a little bit further. Well, I don't know. It's okay.
How do your parents feel about this?
Well, they were trying to get me in a private school, but, well, it's closer over here, and they'd have to pay a lot more. And they came over here, and they thought it was real nice.
Do you have any feelings about going to school with a lot of black people?
Well, not really. I mean, if they're nice to me, I'll be nice to them. A lot of them are nice.
You don't see any problems, then, do you?
No, not really.
A lot of adults seem to think they're going to be some.
Yeah, well, a lot of times they hear in the newspaper and everything, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's true.
You know, some people say if we'd all just get out of here and let the children and the young people work it out, everything would be all right. What do you think?
Well, they could be true. They could be true.
What?
That it could work out. I mean, a lot of people think it should be freedom of choice, but it really doesn't matter. Just that they're getting equal rights.
And you're in favor of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Jim? This is Sharon Whitfield, right?
Yes, sir.
You've been to this school before, Sharon?
Yes, sir.
You have a lot of new classmates this year, white kids, for the first time. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think if, like,
New or what?
yes, sir, it's just my first day going to school with these kids.
How does it feel? Does it feel different to you?
It feels the same way as going together with all the black kids. It feels the same to me.
Some people say the parents make more to do about all this than the young people. What do you think about that?
I don't understand your question.
Well, some people say the parents worry more about integrating the schools than the kids. What do you think?
I don't know. We just have to go along with what they say about it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Hey.
Can I talk to you, Miss? This is Patricia Baker. Miss Baker, you've been here before to this school, right?
No, I haven't.
Well, this is your first year here.
Uh-huh.
What are your thoughts about going to school with so many white kids for the first time?
Well, I think it's all right. You know, I think we all should be together. And I hope that we could get along together.
How do your parents feel about it?
Well, really, I won't be going here because I'll have to go to Findsville. And I think I'll be with more white over at Findsville than I will over here.
Well, do your parents say anything, your folks?
No, they didn't say anything. They said that it would be nice, to have the white and the black together.
Thank you.
L.H. Powell.
Powell?
Powell, uh-huh.
Mrs. Powell, is it the daughter or son?
I have 2 sons.
And they're coming here for the first time. What are your thoughts about them going to this school, which apparently is about half black and half white?
Well, we've had mixed emotions. I've known all summer that my older boy will come here. This is a new thing this week with the younger one, and we have no objections to the black students. I said our objection is the area this school is in and the conditions we'll have to come to school in. To drive and bring our children is dangerous.
How is it dangerous?
Just get one space, start writing your name, the school you go to, the grade you're in, exactly what these raising is up here. Do not skip space. Not anyone skip space. Okay? Let's see your writing, everybody. Remember, everybody get your writing. Hold your head up nice and straight. Get your writing positions. Don't look at the camera. Look at your work. And start right here. Yeah. Ooh, such nice writing. Ooh, it's real nice. It really is. You can skip a space and write right here. See, skip a space and write right there. Oh, now that's fine. Ooh, you're doing such nice writing. We don't skip space in 2nd grade. Oh, boys and girls, after you've made one word, put a finger like this. Use your fingers to space between your words. Okay? Okay, now skip the space and start right there. All right, the way you do it nice and wow. This is what expression writing is. And I really like the way you're writing because
Down there. Yeah, Ms. Barrett, they say bring them in the principal's office.
Could you tell tell me something else?
Don't ride on it.
Don't ride on it. We said that. Do we mark on it with our Crayolas? No, we don't. Moni?
We don't hit on our desk.
We don't beat on this. No, we are. You want to be sure you keep your desk nice and clean. Yes. All right, we can erase that though. Now, this is one of the people we're going to learn about. His name is Jeff. You read that for me? Jeff.
Yeah.
That's
You smile pretty, will you please? Look over here and smile pretty. Am I in the way? Lovely girls and boys. 31 of them and 21 boys. Isn't that a happy thought? 21 and 10. Look at that. Look at those gentlemen here. I didn't know they were going to be here to take your picture. Look at that. Now, you look real pretty. Your new dresses and your new shirt. And you're all so pretty and ready for school. No one's crying. Oh, I'm happy I have this wonderful class. Mrs. Easley and you children are going to have so much fun together. We're really going to have fun. Are you? How many's ready for school? How many's glad they're here today? Let me see your hands up if you're glad you came. Oh, boy. Oh, I'm so glad you came, too. I just been waiting and waiting all week to see you. Ding! Miss Easley doesn't have a bell. All right. Now I'm going to stay and come behind. I came out in front. Now you follow one behind the other. Here's a little boy that got pushed out of his place. Come on, we must stay in line. Now walk on in real nice and go to your little chairs. Oh, that is fine. And Donald, I'm so proud of you because you're smiling at me. Isn't he pretty with dimples?
Mrs. Barbara Chambers, what are your thoughts on bringing your daughter to school here today?
With us, because we are definitely way down in the minority over here. There was barely 100 white students here. And I feel like if they're going to be fair, they ought to make it this way all over the city.
Tell me why you were so upset. What kind of thoughts were you having this morning?
It just upset me. The neighborhood that we had to come through to get over here. Leaving her over here by herself. I feel like maybe she might be in danger, although I've been assured that she'll be well taken care of. It's hard to put it into words how you feel.
Do you feel any better now than you did when you arrived this morning?
I have settled down a little bit.
And how about your daughter? How does she feel?
I don't believe it's bothering her as much as it's bothering me. I really don't.
Maybe that's the answer, right?
Yeah. They are young. They're looking for the best parts of it. And they want to be fair, too.
Will you bring your daughter back here tomorrow?
Yes. I brought her this morning. I'll bring her back tomorrow.
But you're going to worry a lot, right?
Yeah, I'll worry. I won't have a moment that I won't be worried. In fact, I intend to stay here all day until she's out at 3.
How old is she?
She's just barely 13. And this junior and senior combination bothers me, too. I feel like she's thrown in with older boys and girls that she wouldn't be in a regular junior high school.
Okay, thank you very much.
Because they're going
They got to go to where we want to go.
He's better in school, that's all. He's just one of them old bad actors, that's all. No, he doesn't have 2 daughters and a son.
Well, they were in the hall the other day and they didn't want to go.
Collins, Wade Collins. Right. Now, this is Wade Collins. Mr. Collins, what are your thoughts on the integration of your school here?
Well, I think it's one of the best things that could have happened to our community out here. That it might be able to bring our black peoples up on the level with the white people.
Do you have any thoughts for the parents of both races who are upset over having to transfer one school to another back and forth?
Yes, I think it would be a fine thing if the parents wouldn't get upset, would just wait and try to work this thing. It'll take a little time to settle down, but I think when we all settle down, it's going to work out for the best for all concerned.
Some of the white ladies here, as you've witnessed, are concerned about their children having to come all the way over here, and some of the black children having to come from here all the way over there. Apparently, there are some people who are unhappy about this.
Yes, I see this morning that there's some are very much unhappy, but I think when a course of time when they find out that their children get to settle in the school where they can and become to know each other, they're going to find out that it's going to be a great fellowship, and they're going to find out that things will work out better than they even expected to work out.
Why are some of the black parents upset, if they are?
One reason maybe it might be like mine. I talked to mine several years ago about going to Funville or some other white school, and they didn't want to accept that at all. So the tide changed and it brought it back to them. So I think it's going to work out better for them. And I honestly believe that within the next year or so that all the parents that are upset now, they're going to be glad that the thing worked out like it has.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Drop here.
Go ahead.
Okay. You tell me your name, sir?
James Harrison.
Mr. Harrison.
Yes.
What are your? You seem to have a problem this morning. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that I should be able to go back to my school. Where I went last year.
And you're not able to, I assume.
Well, I'm having a little problem anyway.
Where do they want you to go to school?
I'm zoned to this school, but I want to go back to Reagan where I went last year.
Is Reagan predominantly white or black?
Well, it is predominantly white.
Why do you want to go back there rather than go here?
Because I've got a lot to go back to.
Tell me.
Well, like certain positions,
Friends and...
Well, not necessarily friends. I got friends here.
Well, what is it then? What is it that makes you really want to go back there? Enough to question it and argue with them about it?
Because if they say it's for integration, then this is a black school, predominantly black anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Go and tell the man you don't want to go to, and then they put you on the air, and express your opinion. Express your opinion. It must be reported that so far, court orders for integration here are being carried out. Integration, as it is defined so far, is being accomplished. But to tell only that is to leave out half of the story. There is a great amount of anger, frustration, and concern among parents and students here in Houston. They are still looking for guidance from Washington. They hope it comes from the Supreme Court, but if it does not, they will be looking toward the White House. Don Farmer, ABC News in Houston, Texas.
Last night we got a call from Los Angeles from some people from Mayo that went down to the National Chicano Moratorium that took place last night, or yesterday. We got a report that 200 Chicanos were arrested. The 2 Chicanos were killed. One was Ruben Salazar, who is one of the best writers, one of the few writers that Chicanos have. He was in a restaurant. The police went in there and killed him. East LA is on fire. East LA has been closed. No one is coming in. No one is coming out. The electricity has been turned off. That's all I want to say about what happened in Los Angeles. I hope not. Miles has been involved with the student movement, as far as Chicanos are concerned, since it began. This was the original purpose of Mayo. we have been involved in other things besides the integration thing that just came up. There are many other issues that have to be considered. Integration is not the only one. It is the one that we feel right now, but there are other things that we have to think about. We have to think about racist gringo teachers that we have in schools that brainwash Chicanos into believing that they're an inferior race, into believing that they're no good. We have to think about the buildings that we have. Why do people in Bel Air and River Oaks and all the other gringo areas, why do they have good facilities, and why do we get all the rundown buildings? Why do we get the worst teachers? The worst facilities. Why is it that when they teach Texas history, they tell us que pescaron a los mexicanos con los pantalones para abajo? Why do they tell us? Why do they feed us and mess up our minds with these lies? Every San Jacinto day, the Chicano is reminded that he was beaten. The school books have to be rewritten, and they have to be written by Chicanos. Until now, the Chicano was considered brown. In the census that they take at school, they have white, black, and they used to have an others. We used to be others. Not too long ago, they decided we were Mexican Americans. Now, because it's convenient to them, we're white. They are using the Chicano. This is what they're doing. The integration policy is set that if you are a minority, you can go to just about any school you want. The blacks are a minority. It also says that the school district has to provide transportation. All right? Chicanos, according to them, are white. Therefore, we are the majority, and therefore we don't get the same rights as the other minority. You're brown. I want to say one thing about politicians, Chicano politicians in particular. I just want to say one thing. Laro Cruz, where are you? That's all I want to say. I just have one more thing to say, and this is going to hurt. And it's going to hurt me more because I'm saying it about my own people, but I have to say it because it's important. I could care less where he lives. Let me say this. For a long time, a lot of the older Chicanos, the middle-class Chicanos, the Chicanos who have, quote, made it or think they have made it, have not bothered to involve themselves with the problems of the people of the barrio. Now that they are feeling it themselves, now they're raising their voices. What about before? Why weren't some of you people involved before? It hurt your people just as much with the other things as it does now. Why weren't you involved before? It hurts me to say that a lot of Chicano parents are motivated by racism. They don't want their daughters to go to the other schools because they'll have to go with blacks, for negros. Until the Chicano and the negro get together, we aren't going to be able to do anything. As long as we are fighting among ourselves between the Chicanos and the black, the gringo can sit up here and laugh at us because he's doing exactly what he wants, keeping both groups down. Whether we like it or not, we have got to, if nothing else, we don't have to love them if you don't want to, but if nothing else, respect one another. That's all. Just learn to respect each other as human beings.
As we conclude our reflection on Houston's school integration, it is crucial to recognize the broader implications for all Black and brown children. Their educational experiences are intricately tied to the ongoing struggle for equity and justice. While the integration efforts of the 1970s marked a significant step forward, we must acknowledge that many challenges persist for these children in today's educational landscape. Black and brown kids continue to face systemic barriers that hinder their access to quality education. Schools in marginalized neighborhoods are often underfunded, lacking essential resources and support. The effects of socioeconomic disparities compound these challenges, creating environments where potential is stifled rather than nurtured. It is our responsibility to ensure that these young minds are empowered, celebrated, and provided with the tools they need to succeed. Unity among our communities is essential. We must come together to advocate for policies that promote equitable funding, culturally relevant curricula, and support systems that uplift our children. By prioritizing collaboration between Black and brown families, educators, and community organizations, we can create a powerful collective force for change. Our voices, when united, can demand the attention and action necessary to dismantle the barriers that continue to divide us. We must emphasize the importance of representation within our schools. Our children deserve to see themselves reflected in their educators and curricula, fostering a sense of belonging and pride in their identities. This representation can inspire and motivate them to strive for excellence, knowing that their stories and experiences matter. The journey toward true equity in education is far from over, and it requires unwavering commitment. We owe it to our children to fight for a future where they can learn, grow, and thrive without the constraints of systemic injustice. The legacy of those who fought for integration in Houston reminds us that progress is possible, but it requires vigilance, resilience, and collective action. As we look to the future, let us embrace the responsibility to uplift all Black and brown children. Let us instill in them the belief that they are deserving of every opportunity, and let us ensure that they have the resources to pursue their dreams. Together, we can build a brighter, more equitable educational landscape that honors the rich potential of every child. The time to act is now. Our children's futures depend on it.